Hey everybody, welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Ryan Tyler. He's Nick Padone. He's Jack O'Rourke. Guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am to welcome into studio here at Burke Lakefront Airport, David Anthony, professional magician and hypnotist. By the way, Cleveland native, St. Ignatius alum, John Carroll alum.
That's right.
Jack knows damn well about those two schools.
Blue and gold, baby.
David, we cannot thank you enough for coming into studio. Welcome back to Cleveland. I know you've been touring across the country. Your next show is actually here in Cleveland on Sunday, April 6th at the Music Box Supper. Doors open at 11. Show is at 12. David, how is it to be back in Cleveland? And again, as I said, we can't thank you enough for coming into studio with us.
Well, first off, thanks for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it feels great to be back in Cleveland. I just got back from Canada like a day and a half ago. So it's a little warmer here, which is you don't get often saying about Cleveland, but yeah.
Yeah, especially like April 1. You know, you
Oh
usually
yeah, you don't.
get
It's
that.
no guarantee
Yeah.
you're not getting Saskatoon type weather in Cleveland.
That's a good point. Yeah, because that's where I was, Saskatoon, Canada. It was a lot of fun. We did a halftime show up there for a lacrosse team, the Rush lacrosse team. And it was my first time seeing lacrosse.
Okay. How was that? I've never seen lacrosse like
In person.
in person. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's growing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sport in whole.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, it was exciting. Granted, I only saw like 20 minutes of it. So after halftime, I had to do a few things, and then I got to sit and watch like the last quarter, full quarter, some of the third quarter, and but I was right up against the glass, and it was incredible. Yeah.
How was that thrill for you when you get to perform in front of a big crowd like that? Like we were talking before a show, you said it was like 8,500 people.
Yeah.
Is that difficult at all with magic when you have people like all over the building?
So this was hypnosis.
Oh, that was all.
yeah,
Okay.
which made it even more interesting, right? Because it's unpredictable hypnosis. But yeah, no, it's great. Like the energy from the crowd is incredible. You know, I much rather perform in front of lots of people than very little, because like when it's a little amount, it feels like, I don't know. It's to me, it's more intimidating. That probably doesn't make any sense.
No, it does.
You know, I don't know.
It's like if you
feel vulnerable.
Yeah, if there's a group of people, it's like, okay, I can't embarrass myself that much. But when you're honing in like only 3 sets of eyes in the room, like right now, it's like, oh, okay, I could embarrass myself. That's
right,
where the difference
exactly.
comes
Yeah, along those lines, yes.
And David, you've been doing magic your whole life. You've been performing since you were 12 years old. I want to ask, like, how did you start getting into magic? At what age did you know, oh my God, this is something I want to do the rest of my life? And also, at what age did you know this was something you can do as a living for the rest of your life?
That's a good question. So I got a magic kit when I was about 7 years old, like everyone does, right?
Yeah.
For Christmas or whatever. I got a magic kit. It wasn't anything crazy. And then I did my first show when I was about 12. In between that, my uncle used to do magic when he was a kid, just for friends or family. And he gave me a box of his old stuff. So at like that 10, 11 years old, I was really learning a lot of magic. I did my first show when I was 12, and it started out as a hobby where I do a show every couple months, and probably like 6, 7 a year. And then I went to Ignatius, and I joined the circus company at Ignatius. It's a juggling and magic group. But by that time on my own, I was doing maybe about 2 to 3 shows a month on average. I started competing with magic and traveling a lot more. And then in college, I went to, like you said, I went to John Carroll University, and I took it on full time right after. So,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
So it doesn't stop at magic. Hypnosis.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm right, we talked pre-show. So you didn't start hypnosis until what? How about half a decade ago?
2015.
Oh, so like
decade.
a
Yeah.
decade
A
ago.
decade.
Oh
A
my
decade
God.
Yeah, that's crazy
Just
to
hit the
say.
census, baby.
Yeah.
You're making me sweat now thinking that was 10 years ago already. Yeah, so I was in Vegas for some things with magic and stuff, and visiting a friend, and the one producer said, "Hey, you'd make a killer hypnotist," and I said, "Well, let's make it happen." And then I got trained by a Las Vegas hypnotist, and now I tour around doing both. I do some just magic, like at the Music Box Supper Club. It's just my magic show. Others I do just hypnosis, and then I'm on the road quite a bit with my combo show, which involves magic and hypnosis.
So what about you, or what that guy saw about you, made him think that, oh, this guy could be a good hypnotist?
Yeah, like what are some of the prerequisites?
I don't know. I don't know it exactly, to be
Could
honest.
Jack be a good
Yeah,
hypnotist?
I don't know if I'd be a good hypnotist.
Yeah, I think it was more the idea, because I was younger at the time, and with hypnosis, college shows are a big thing, right? And I'm sure they had a hypnotist when you went to college and all you guys, And so I think he said, hey, it would be great for you just to relate to these students a little bit more, because I was younger at the time. I guess I still am kind of young.
For sure. Yeah, that's cool. I want to also talk about early on magic, like especially like super early on, like, first couple of shows. Was there ever a moment where you kind of had like a blunder or a gaffe, like especially like
in magic?
Yeah, in magic with the crowd.
Yeah, so the nice part is the audience never knows what's supposed to happen.
That's true.
Yeah, that is
You
true.
know,
yeah.
like
It's like doing radio for baseball.
yeah, there you go. So like some things, right, will happen, and I know it didn't go as planned. My assistant knows, and me and her could exchange looks and be like, uh-oh, let's pivot a little bit, but the audience may not know. One thing, actually, our first competition we did, so there's big conventions for magicians. It's as exciting as it sounds.
That actually would. That sounds.
I know, yeah, probably.
Better than March Madness this
that
year.
sounds bizarre.
Gotta be better than March Madness.
Yeah, this is the right crowd.
Yeah, okay, that's true. All right, yeah. So there's big conventions for magicians, and at these conventions, there's contests, right? Our first contest we entered, we were doing a levitation where I suspend my assistant about 5-6 feet in the air, and the way she's holding 2 poles, and then I take away the 2 poles, and then she's just left floating there. Well, as I'm pulling away the last pole, I notice like blood is dripping on my hand, and I didn't know where it was coming from, right? and I just see blood like hitting my hand and rolling down my forearm, like, and not like just like a little bit. It was like a decent amount, I come to find out that she sliced the back of her hand on the step of the stage.
Wow.
Halfway through our act, and it was like, thankfully the audience didn't see because her palms were facing the audience, but the back of her hand was really sliced up. So my point is, things happen all the time.
Yeah.
It's live entertainment, and that makes it fun too. You know what I'm saying?
So as the only person here who's actually seen you perform, I can assume at this point in time, one thing that's incredible about you is like your presence up on the stage. Like so many things are choreographed, and obviously so many things are timed and have to go well for things to happen. How did you develop that over time? Just like that skill of like not even just like the talking, because like you're a comedic magician as well. Like you're funny when you're up there and like you throw in these little things that like you can't always predict. You have to improv a little bit. Like where did that develop and come from? Because you got to be an entertainer as much as you are anything else.
Oh, 100%. So the magic's one thing, right? And this is like getting into the weeds here a little bit, right? Inside baseball, as we might call it. But, the magic is one thing, right? That's easy. The performance is what really does it, right? And that's what you're talking about.
The prestige.
Yeah. So like the comedic timing and kind of all that stuff is just from getting your reps in. Like a baseball player has batting practice where they hit the ball hundreds of times, The more you get on stage, the more you're comfortable with your material, and the more you're able to focus then on what's happening in the audience or how they're reacting. And then I've been very fortunate to work with some wonderful people to help like choreograph my show and direct my show. Art Thomas from Ignatius, he was my theater director of my act for one of my first directors, and we worked on my competition act, which was like 7.5 minutes. Very, very like intense. Every moment was accounted for, every look, to what I was wearing, why I was wearing it, and so there's a lot that goes into it.
Right.
And then I've worked with some wonderful choreographers that help choreograph the dance involved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Again, we're joined by David Anthony, professional magician and hypnotist. Go throw him a follow on X and Instagram at DAnthonyMagic. I want to flip it back to hypnosis.
Yep.
Now, there's many people that are skeptical about hypnosis. What do you think is the biggest, one, misconception, and then two, are people more susceptible than others to hypnosis?
Yeah. So I get flooded on my videos and comments and DMs about how fake it is. It is very real. And I know sometimes when you watch a video, right, when you watch like a 45-second clip or a minute clip, it could look like, this is staged.
Yeah.
One of the comments is I preset people all the time, and they're on my end. It's not true. I don't tour with 25 people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the most, preconceptions of hypnosis is that it's totally fake. Hypnosis is a deep state of relaxation. In that deep state of relaxation, you're open to my suggestion, right? So that's all it is. So if I say you can't remember your name, and the harder you try, the harder it becomes, in that moment when you're really relaxed, you start thinking about like, wait, I don't know what my name is.
Man, that sounds like a form
cool.
of therapy. To
Yeah.
be honest.
Well,
Like,
so it could be used for therapeutic purposes too. Yeah.
Theoretically, at a prior date, it seems like now Jimmy Haslam has admitted that he swung and missed a little bit. Had the Cleveland Browns called you in to talk to Deshaun Watson, meet with him, do you think you could have made a difference in Cleveland Browns football over the last couple of years?
I'm not taking credit, nor am I claiming I could do anything for them. But here's the thing, right? So hypnosis can help with athletes, right? And it's a lot of athletes use it, but it's more along the lines of, hey, when the snap happens, the linemen are triggered, right? And they're turned into like an animal. And they go after that ball, right? Or in boxing, when the bell rings, boom, you're entered inside a place where you only hear your coach, right? And you're focused on your game plan. So it could be used for hypnosis. So Browns, hit me up. We'll make it happen.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so wild to me. And I mean, it makes sense. I know there's therapy. There's hypnosis for like quitting smoking, all these benefits. So I guess my question to you, David, is have you ever used hypnosis, in your real life? It's like a superpower almost, like I don't want to say for personal gain or advantage, but I'm curious.
That's how I got my wife to marry me.
Oh,
No. Well, it could be used for quitting smoking, weight loss, all that stuff. In 2020, when the pandemic happened, because live entertainment took a crash, I diversified a little bit and I got trained in that aspect of it. So now we do sell digital downloads and everything. But do I use it? Sometimes when I need to go to sleep and I can't fall asleep, I in a sense, use self-hypnosis, which brings you to the other question, right? Can everyone get hypnotized? And yes, everyone can get hypnotized. It sometimes just takes longer for some people than others. And then some people just don't go as deep into hypnosis.
So I wanted to ask you, if it's not my favorite movie of all time, it's my second favorite movie, is The Prestige, which is a movie which is about magic, as I'm sure you know as a magician. I was going to ask, so one of the things I'm so curious about with that movie is the kind of element of competition that goes in throughout it. Like everyone's always looking for that next big trick or the next big thing within their career. Can you speak to that at all as a magician? Like, do you kind of get that eat it all or that hunger of like, oh, I saw this person did this. Like, I got to think of something new, or I got to go out and learn how to do this.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think, in The Prestige, it was more that they were against each other.
Yeah.
And, which maybe some entertainers think that, like, oh, we're competition.
Yeah.
Whereas I think of it more as, hey, we're in this together, right? Because if you experienced a great hypnosis show or a great magic show, you're more likely to come back to one, right?
True.
Yeah.
So, or on the flip side, if a theater had a great magic show, it went over wonderfully, they're more likely to book my show then because of the first one. So I'd rather have so much good performers out there, magic, hypnosis, doesn't matter, right? I'd rather have so much good performers out there doing their thing and doing it great,
Grow the game.
What was that?
Grow the game.
Grow the game, because then we're all going to rise, right? And when you see someone else like pushing the limits of entertainment in a good way, you're like, man, I'm inspired. So like when I go see like David Copperfield, right, who's a legend in magic, I get inspired. Or if I see I'm big in comedians, or I saw Justin Timberlake last summer when he was in town, and like the lighting and the dance, like it's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? So competition's good.
Yeah,
it really is.
That is cool because, like, as somebody that's easily amused, we could get, a 10-year-old in here to do magic, and like our minds would probably be blown.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, that was something that I wondered of, like, as somebody that does it at the highest level, like, if you could see something and be like, oh, that's not great, that's not great, that's not the way that I would have done it. But it's cool that, like, everybody is kind of in it together for the greater good of magic and performing as a whole.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to like that question you had about styles and performing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I may know how magic is done, but like how they did it might be great.
Right.
Or like, hey, there's that great comedic moment there that you did, and so that's what we look at more.
That is cool.
So people are naturally either more open or less open to suggestion in just general.
Yeah.
But what makes somebody more susceptible or less susceptible to hypnosis?
Yeah. So number one, you gotta want to be hypnotized.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be, because it's a deep state of relaxation. If you're fighting it, there's no chance you're gonna relax, right? So you want to be hypnotized is number one. Number two is you're able to relax in that moment, right? I start on stage. There's probably 25 chairs up there, right? And we fill up those chairs and I hypnotize people. But I try to narrow it down to like maybe 12 people, okay, depending on the size of the room. And the reason is I want the people that are really out cold,
Yeah.
meaning, like laying on each other and all that kind of stuff. And the others might have been hypnotized, but they were thinking about work or their babysitter, right, at home and their kids at home and all that kind of stuff. And they weren't able to fully relax. Yeah. So I think if you're able to relax, you want to be hypnotized, that's all that matters.
So you're saying you could make me believe I wake up and Margot Robbie's next to me?
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God.
That's
Maybe
so
my
good.
dream come true.
Yeah, I mean, I could have you running around this room looking for your belly button, because that happens on stage a number of times. Yeah,
That's incredible.
Oh my gosh, that is nuts.
yeah.
Why don't we
Do you guys want to see something real quick?
Oh,
Yeah,
please.
let's see
Yeah.
magic. Here, do me a favor, right? There's 52 cards in a deck.
Yeah.
Okay, similar to how we have 52 weeks in a year. There's 4 suits: hearts, clubs, spades, diamonds. Similar to how we have 4 seasons out of the year. Name a suit that comes to your mind.
A suit that comes to mind, heart.
Hearts. You want to stick with that or change it?
I'll stick with it.
Stick with it. Okay, cool. So we took 52 cards. We narrowed it down to 13 cards, right? 1 through 10, Jack, Queen, and King. Let's go name a number 1 to 10.
4.
4. You want to stick with it or change it?
Stick with it.
Stick with it. It's good. So the 4 of hearts, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before the show, I made a prediction, okay? I took that one card. I took one card. I flipped it upside down, okay? And I placed it face down in that face up deck, okay? We narrowed it down to hearts and the 4 of hearts, yeah?
Get out.
All cards are face up. All cards are face up except for one card here. Oh, there it is. One card.
No.
And you said the 4 of hearts?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
That's awesome.
What?
How is that possible?
Lots of practice and no social life. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible, man. Wow. So I guess my question to you is, there's obviously some parallels between magic and hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in your career, I guess maybe not what do you enjoy doing more is the right word, but what at this point, what do you, I guess I'll say it, what do you enjoy doing more, magic or hypnosis?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I like it both. And I know that's like a cheap way of answering that question, right? But they both have different elements. The magic, we're able to get real dramatic, right? And we're able to take it on a roller coaster, right? So in my show, for example, at the Music Box Supper Club this Sunday, there's moments where you're going to laugh. There's moments where you're going to think about, memories in your life. And moment where it might bring a tear to your eye. There's moments where you're amazed. So it's a really roller coaster, right? With the hypnosis show, there is a roller coaster, but not as dramatic.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun too, right? With the hypnosis show too, I never know what to expect. Like, sure, certain things happen every show, right? But it's really based on the volunteers. I take the volunteers wherever they let me take them. So that's part of the fun as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Well, I'm not doing it, Nick and Jack.
I guess so.
I'm in.
I guess
I'm
we
in,
got to
baby.
do it. Yeah.
All right, well, when we get back from break, again, we're joined by David Anthony, professional magician and hypnotist. Go throw him a follow at DAnthonyMagic on Instagram and X. He's going to do some hypnotizing for Jack and Nick, and I'll be the producer, making it all, the cameras work and all
do it,
that.
baby.
He'll be doing the hypnosis when we get back here on The Big Factor. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Before we dive into the hypnosis, I got to tell you about our great friends at Fairway Ford. Fairway Ford, Ohio is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks. And guys, I promise you they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealer. Please do not let a short drive to Canfield, Ohio prevent you from saving thousands, yes, that's thousands of dollars on your new truck. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and the same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com. That's fairwayfordohio.com. And with that, I give it away.
Alrighty, here we are. We've never used this shot before.
Yeah, this is, the hero shot.
Yeah, this is unique, but time to get hypnotized. I suppose.
Sounds good. Yeah, so remember, hypnosis is a deep state of relaxation. That's all it is. In this deep state of relaxation, you could hear everything that's going on around you. And that's one of the other misconceptions of hypnosis, right? Is that, number one, you can't hear anything that's going on around you. You can. You're totally aware the whole time. And number two is that I'm in control, right? I'm not in control in a sense. You're in control the whole time. I'm just suggesting things, and then you take my suggestion or not, you know? So those are the two other misconceptions. So you guys ready to try some?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah?
I love
Okay.
it.
Good. Okay. Fist bump there. I guess I'll fist bump here. I was just turning, but that works
Okay.
for me.
Sweet.
He was nervous. He just went for
Yeah.
the fist bump. And
I love that Ryan, by the way, is not being hypnotized. So
Ryan's the happiest
we're
person.
sure
Somebody's gotta produce.
We're sure that
Someone's
the,
gotta
the
produce,
stream will be fine.
oh, and if you're at home, you could try this next part too. Yeah. All right. So let's do this. Let's try a little something. Let's get warmed up a little bit. Go ahead. Interlace your fingers like this. Squeeze your palms nice and tight together. Squeeze your fingers nice and tight together. Bend your arms up just like so. Good. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to stick up your first two fingers about an inch apart. Okay. Remember this position. Do not forget this position. We're going to return to this in just a little bit. And if you're at home, you could try this as well. Go ahead. Close your fingers. Squeeze your palms nice and tight together. Good. Now look at your hands. And I want you to imagine I've squirted super glue on the palms of your hands. I squirted super glue on the palms of your hands. And you're squeezing that super glue nice and tight together. Squeezing those palms nice and tight together. I want you to imagine your fingers are like vice grips and you're really squeezing your palms so close together, so much so that the super glue now is oozing out of your hands, going in between your fingers. You're squeezing your palms so close together that your hands are totally stuck, glued shut. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I hit the number 3, I want you to stick up your first two index fingers about an inch apart, just as you did before, except this time imagine two powerful magnets to the tips of your fingers. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lift up your fingers about an inch apart and imagine two magnets and watch as your fingers slowly come together. That's it. Good. Now you can relax them right now. That's it. You can relax them. Good. How'd that feel, guys?
That was crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it probably worked for you at home too. So yeah, you could loosen them up now. That's it. Good. You guys want to get hypnotized a little bit? Yeah, you can relax. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, shake it off a little bit. Alrighty. That was very good. So here, let's go feet on the, yeah, there we go. Backs against your chair. Good. You as well. Good. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Nothing to be nervous about. You can relax. Big breath out. That's it. Good. You can put your hands flat on your lap. You're doing great. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good. How you doing so far? You good?
Good.
Yeah? You're doing fantastic. Look at the lines on your hands. Focus in on one spot. As it comes closer, your eyes will become out of focus. Once you're aware of that, you can simply relax, close your eyes, and sleep. Deeper and deeper, relaxing, going down deeper and deeper. That's allowing yourself to relax even more. In a moment, your arm's going to drop down to your lap. As it drops down, you're going to go deeper in that deep state of relaxation, drifting away. Now, excellent, good. Every inch, every fiber of your body simply relaxes and lets go. Now. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. As I do so, you're going to go deeper in that deep state of relaxation, drifting away. Every inch, every fiber of your body simply relaxes, lets go. 5. Going down deeper and deeper. 4, 10 times deeper than you ever thought you could go before. Drifting away. 3. Every inch, every fiber of your body simply relaxes. 2. Drifting away. 1, nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable. In a moment, I'm going to pick up your left arm. When I do so, I'm going to let go of it, and it's going to drop down to your side. And as it drops down, you're going to go deeper in this deep state of relaxation, drifting away even more. Drifting now, drifting away. That's it. Good. 1, 2, 3, eyes open. Hey, wakey, wakey. That's it. You can sit up. You could put your hat back on. That's it. Yeah. How you doing so far?
Good.
Yeah, look here. Focusing on one spot. I'm going to shake your hand 3 times. On the first time, your eyes are going to become out of focus. On the second time, your eyes are going to become so heavy, You're going to want to close them, but don't close them. And that third time, you're going to simply close your eyes and enter that deep state of relaxation, drifting away even more. That's 1. Eyes are becoming heavy. Good. 2. Eyes are becoming heavy, but don't close them. Good. 3. You're going to close those eyes, enter that deep state of relaxation that you were at before, drifting down, sleep. 3. Deeper and deeper. That's it. Drifting away even more. Relaxing even more. Drifting away. Good. I'm going to count down from 3 to 1 as I do so. You're going to go deeper in that deep state of relaxation. Now drifting away. I'm going to pull your arm out. As it does so, you're going to go deeper as I let go, drifting down. That's it. Good. From this point on, anything I say you believe to be your absolute reality. Once again, anything I say you believe to be the absolute reality. If I say the word sleep, touch you on the head, or drop my hand, you immediately return to this deep state of relaxation. In a moment, I'm going to touch your left arm. When I touch your left arm, it's going to begin to rise up as if there's an air bubble underneath it. That's it. As if there's an air bubble underneath it. It's going to begin to rise up faster and faster, faster and faster. That's it. Good. Faster and faster. Now, it's funny because like the air bubble and your hand, your head and your hand are a magnet, and your hand starts to go closer and closer to your head, closer and closer to your head. That's it. It's so funny to you. You start to laugh a little bit. This is a weird feeling, isn't it? You start to laugh a little bit. Now your hand is actually so magnetized to your head. Your hand is so magnetized to your head. It's like holding it. It's stuck there. It's glued there. It's the harder you try to remove it, the harder it becomes. Your hand is so magnetized to your head. That magnetism is so strong. The harder you try to remove it, the harder it becomes. And when you test yourself, it's going to become so hard that you can't move your hand at all. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah. Can you move your arm at all? No, your hand is stuck there, isn't it? That's weird, isn't it? In a moment, you're going to sit up with those eyes closed, but you're going to find that magnetism gets 10 times stronger when you sit up. That magnetism gets 10 times stronger when you sit up. 1, 2, 3, sit up with your eyes closed, and your hand is totally stuck there, isn't it? You can't move your hand at all. That's weird, isn't it? Good. And sleep deeper and deeper. That's it. Drifting away even more. Finding yourself going down deeper and deeper. That's it. Now, it's funny because your arms are totally stuck down to your side. They are weighed down by thousands and thousands of pounds of weights. Thousands and thousands of pounds of weights. That's it. The harder you try to lift up your arms, the harder it becomes. They're weighed down by thousands and thousands of pounds of weights. In a moment, I'm going to say eyes open. When I say eyes open, you're going to sit up in that chair, but you're going to find that when you open up your eyes, your arms become stuck down here even more. The harder you try to remove them, the harder you try to lift them, the harder it becomes. Those weights get 10 times stronger the moment you open up your eyes. 1, 2, 3, eyes open. How you doing?
Good.
What was that?
Good.
Yeah. Can you move your arms at all?
No.
Can you lift them up at all?
No.
Oh my God.
Can you touch my finger?
No, I can't lift my arm.
I'll give you $20 if you could touch my finger. I'll give you $50 if you could touch my finger right now. Can you move them at all? When I snap my fingers, you're going to be able to move your hands. That's weird. You could lift them. You lift them up to show the viewers there. Yeah.
Oh, what?
And nothing was underneath the desk. Nothing was underneath.
No.
Nothing.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. How you feeling?
Oh my.
good.
Yeah. Here, look here. Big breath in. And sleep, drift away. That's it. Good. Going down deeper and deeper, drifting away. In a moment, when I say eyes open, the number 6 is gone from your memory. The harder you try to remember that number 6, the harder it becomes. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. The number 6 is gone from your memory. The harder you try, the harder it becomes. 1, 2, 3, eyes open. Hey, we're gonna do a little test here. Hold out both hands for me. Yeah, I'm gonna point to it. You could. Palms facing you. I'm going to point to a finger. I want you to count into the microphone nice and loud, okay? Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Ryan, what is going on?
You have 11 fingers.
No, I have 10 fingers.
Here, let's try again. Ready? Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, let's do that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
If this was a DUI test, you're going into the car, buddy.
You have 11 fingers. Here, how many are you supposed to have?
10.
10. Let's count backwards. So this should be what?
10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's enough.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it? Yeah. Here, into the microphone. We're gonna do a little test. 1 + 1,
2,
2 + 2,
4,
3 + 3.
7.
I broke him.
Oh, Jack.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Yeah. You all right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at the lines on your hands. Focus. Sleep deeper and deeper. That's it. Drifting away. Even more. That's it. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I hit that number 3, you're going to feel fantastic, wonderful, back to normal, as if you just took a 20-minute nap. You're going to feel fantastic, wonderful, back to normal, as if you just took a 20-minute nap. All my suggestions will then be gone except for this one. For the rest of the interview, anytime, and for the rest of the day, anytime someone says the word hypnosis, you're going to yell out, "I love Cleveland," at the top of your lungs. Once again, for the rest of the day, anytime someone says hypnosis, you're going to yell out, "I love Cleveland," at the top of your lungs. And this is going to happen for the rest of the day. All my other suggestions will then be gone. 1, 2, 3, wide awake. How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, hypnosis is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hypnosis is crazy, isn't it? Yeah. 2 + 2,
4,
3 + 3.
6.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Bro,
There you go, guys.
Oh my god.
that was incredible.
How'd that feel for you?
Wow.
Good. I could hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you you're fully aware the whole time.
That's like the. Yeah. Yeah.
The simple addition though just fled. Like 3 + 3 was 7 for a good minute there.
Oh jeez. No garage viewers involved.
Wait till you go into huddle and watch the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. So people don't know peek behind the curtain. Like Jack does social for this show. So when you go back and rewatch it, your mind is gonna be even further.
So I
along.
think one of you should sit with him just in case he hears me say the SLEEP word, in case he drops down.
Wait, if you say that, I'm gonna.
Well, let's make it so it won't, right? For the rest of the day, you won't get hypnotized if I say the word sleep. Got it?
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. There you go.
That's awesome.
God.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feeling good?
Yeah. I feel
Have you ever been hypnotized before?
No.
Oh, next time I do a hypnosis show, you come to the show and you're gonna do some crazy stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing
How'd
a
I
big
do?
factor. Huge shout out. We got to now we got to take the show on the road and go do the show at one of his
Oh
shows.
my god, are you kidding me? I'd be honored.
Yeah.
That was fucking badass.
Yeah. Mind blown. Dude, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
This
Thanks
was
guys for
phenomenal.
having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Did you get hypnotized?
No, I was like taking videos and just looking at Ryan being like, is this actually like no, I was here the whole dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember everything?
I think.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. You didn't do anything too crazy. Just running around, in the hallway and stuff like. No, I'm joking.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Anthony, professional magician and hypnotist, native of Cleveland, Ohio. He's got his show here in Cleveland Sunday, April 6th at the Music Box Supper. Doors open at 11. Show starts at noon. Tickets are $20, but $15 if you get them in advance. Excuse me. David Anthony, thank you so much for coming
you,
on the
guys.
Big Factor.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Honor. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. I feel like I'm hypnotized. Holy shit, guys. Before we break that down, I gotta tell you about our great friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager and lime. No frills, no bitterness. None of that IPA taste, guys. It's just beer-flavored beer. You can find local retailers, I can't even speak, who will sell Garage Beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com. That's drinkgaragebeer.com.
I think all of our minds are like a smidge bit blown.
Oh, wait, hold up, Nick.
Oh, you're good. I think Ryan actually did get hypnotized.
I think I did. Let's run that back. Try it again.
Dude, I
There we
think
go.
like all of our minds collectively are blown, but like Jack, like, how you feeling, dude?
I feel a little bit off right
Jack,
now.
hold up. So now this one's you. There's too many numbers. Now go.
Me?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh
There we
yeah,
go.
hey, woohoo! I feel better as each minute goes on. Like I definitely don't think I could run a mile right now, but that was a really, really cool experience. It was weird. I mean, my biggest thing was like, there's no way it can be like that real, if that makes sense. Was like where my head was at the whole time, and then just like
So Jack,
boom, it's
you'll,
real.
You'll have to go back and watch the tape, but this dude literally erased the number 6
6
out of your
from your
memory. You were
memory.
going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's why you thought you had 11 fingers.
It was like you ever watch the dash cam videos of people getting arrested and they can't
Yeah.
like count. That's what it
That's
was
what
like.
it was.
You were consistently counting missing 6, and he was like 3 + 3, and you were like 7. It was the craziest thing. And here's when I kind of like backed off of it, was when he did the thing with the hands and he said to separate your I seriously
And you
couldn't
couldn't?
I couldn't move my fingers. So if I couldn't even move my
Oh, you were
finger-
out on the opener?
if I couldn't even move my fingers and I was awake, I couldn't imagine.
So I'll be
what
honest, I was super skeptical. I've been skeptical of that stuff. I mean, I just saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah, that was-
no, yeah, you did.
That was 100% real.
Jack, like,
My mind's blown. Where do we go from here?
what are your thoughts, man?
I don't really. I just got pulled off. This is a tough. Like this is like an interview after you hit a buzzer beater in March Madness. I don't really have my thoughts yet, but it was weird because like I remember some of like him talking, or like not that I forget anything, but like I think it's like just a balance of like how truly under you are. But like I remember him talking into my ear and you laughing, Ryan, the most out of it. But like. I don't know. I think at the start I was really worried that I was gonna like hit my head or something. So, but like once he relaxed me enough, I
He
just
kept catching you. Like,
Yeah,
he
he was
you.
catching you.
oh yeah, and then it just he
and
just
yeah, the
I
hat
don't
was
I
like
don't
firmly on the floor, like from the first one. Yeah, your hat was off, like you were completely out.
how like. I'm trying. I have questions for you guys more so because you guys were there for it. You know, I was only half there for it in spirit. Like, what did it look like? I guess I don't know.
Kind of just like you were asleep.
Yeah,
really.
you were like
yeah.
just half asleep. You were like his puppet.
Yeah,
That's so
responsive,
weird.
responsive.
Yeah.
Like you knew what was going on and you were following what he said to do. It was like, yeah, like
I
you
think
were
the
his
craziest
puppet.
part for me had to have been that you just completely forgetting the number 6.
6. That was
Like,
because like so like he had like you remember you raised your arm like that worked, but then like he was like, I'm gonna wipe the number 6 completely from your memory. Completely, you're gonna forget that number 6 ever existed. And he did like 3 different things, and you just refused to say the number.
I
6.
wanted to
Wow.
like interject and ask, but I wasn't going to because I didn't want to interrupt the thing. But I wanted to be like, Jack, LeBron in his career has worn 23 and what other number? And just wonder what you would have said. Like, would you have been able to say 6? Or you just been like 7? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
that was one of the
It's
coolest
just
things.
so. How do they do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what
practice.
I'm saying. And like awake, how do you do it? Like where I couldn't. Because he said like magnets. Like you couldn't. I could not get my fingers to separate.
Well, because it's
Until
like
he said relax, and then like even then it was like my hands were still. I felt like a dummy. Like
if you go and get like surgery, right, and like you get an IV, like you can kind of feel yourself hitting that
Right.
woozy transitioning into the out. Like obviously you don't remember going out. That was weird because like it was just like I was in, then I was out. There was no transition period in there for me to buffer or adjust.
That is so crazy. Like when he was talking about like I just think of guys like Mike Tyson. Like you hear that bell,
Yeah.
you just lock in. You're like an animal in a cage. Nothing else matters. You can only hear your trainer. Like go full on animalistic mode.
And you see guys do that like before fights. Like I'm glad that he brought up like UFC and boxing, because that's where you see it the most. Where you see guys will bring in like their breathwork coaches, their hypnotists, and like seriously right before they walk out, like they'll go through the process with their guy like that does that. And like but you see that before a fight and you're like, okay, like, you know, like come on, let's walk out and get this thing underway. But no, that shit is real.
So Jack, what was that experience like compared to maybe your pre notions going into, like, what did you expect and how did it relate to what you thought it was going to be?
You know, I didn't know what to expect. I was definitely nervous, but, you know, I think anytime I'm nervous in that kind of a scenario, I just try to think about, like, how many people have died from hypnosis. Probably not too many, you'd like to think.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect going in. And, frankly, I don't know what to expect going out either. You know, I still don't know what went on. Like, I'm going to have to, like, sit down with you guys and, watch the huddle back on this.
We seriously, like, need to get this guy in a room with the Browns, though. That's now all I can think of.
So here's the thing. So David Anthony, go follow him, D. Anthony Magic. So he does casinos and theaters. He does corporate events. We got to get him here to do a big play one. Imagine him hypnotizing Ken or something like that. And, like, he mentioned colleges and universities. We should tell Ken next time we do a big play event.
Yeah.
Hire this dude.
That'd be so sick.
All right, guys, we are out of time. Jack needs to go back and watch the huddle highlights to see how he did. I want to say again, though, David Anthony, huge thanks for him to coming in. He's got a show in Cleveland this Sunday, April 6th at the Music Box Supper. Doors open at 11 a.m. The show starts at 12. Tickets, if you get them in advance, they're $15. So get them now. If you get them at the door, they're $20. I'm going to have to go see this. That was incredible.
The magic was awesome, too. Could we talk about the four hearts?
How did he know
for
the
a second?
four
How
hearts?
did he do that?
I don't know how the hell he did that.
I had it from the perfect side angle, too. So I was like, if anybody's going to catch him lacking in this room, it's going to be me. Because he was like very strategically showing the camera, but then looking at himself on the screen. I'm expecting to see like something, you know, nefarious happen. No.
Holy crap, guys.
It's magic.
That was one of the coolest things we've ever done here on The Big Factor. All right, we got to head out. Huge thank you to Garage Beer. Huge thank you to Fairway Ford. I don't think we can top that tomorrow, but guys, we're going to try. Nick will be gone.
I'll be gone,
We've got another special guest tomorrow. We'll talk about that when we get back, or excuse me, when we come back tomorrow on The Big Factor.